Can you tell me how many agents, investigators you've assigned to the case?
May be able to do that, but I'd have to get back to you.
Can you tell me who the lead investigator is?
Off the top of my head, no.
This is the most important issue in front of the country the last 6 weeks. You don't know who's heading up the case? Who the lead investigator is?
At this juncture, no, I do not know.
How embarrassing. That's President Obama's FBI director admitting he knows nothing about his agency's investigation into the IRS scandal. Nothing. Wow. A new Fox poll shows it's eroding confidence in the Obama administration by the American people. 41% polled say they don't have a lot of confidence in the federal government. 22% say they have none at all. A whopping majority, 63%, say they can't believe anything this administration says. With me is California Congressman Nunes, member of the House Intel Committee, who joins us from D.C. Good evening, Congressman.
Judge, it's great to be back on with you.
Thank you. What do you think about this Fox News poll? Have Americans lost trust in this federal government and this administration? And is this something new that we're seeing?
Well, absolutely. I mean, you talked about it in your monologue, but there's basically episode after episode, from Benghazi to Fast and Furious to the IRS scandal. And the morning that I was briefed after this terrible leak that you were mentioning on your opening, the first thing I thought of is, it doesn't matter what we say now, because no one's going to believe that whether this NSA program was good or bad, because no one trusts the government on everything else. If you can't trust the IRS not to leak information, how are you going to trust the NSA? And this is really the problem here. That it's really the difference between Congress knew about the NSA program, everything else Congress has been lied to about. But now they all blurred together, and I don't know how this president's going to come out of this.
Well, and it's interesting that not just the distrust by the American people in the federal government and the Obama administration, but the public feels very strongly, according to another Fox News poll, that Congress should continue to investigate the IRS. A whopping 78% of Americans think that that should happen. 76% of Americans think that the Justice Department should be investigated, or at least have a special prosecutor appointed, and 73% still want to go after Benghazi. Is it the cumulative effect of all of this that is going to sink Obama in terms of, his legacy?
Well, as it relates to Benghazi, that investigation is ongoing. We just had another hearing yesterday, actually, in the Intelligence Committee. I also serve on the Ways and Means Committee, so we are in the middle of this investigation on the IRS scandal. And I can tell you that what we're doing is we're being very methodical about it. So we know that if we just go to the administration officials, they're going to lie, because they've lied time and time again. So what we're doing is we're actually going to Cincinnati. We're trying to have whistleblowers come forward. We're giving them an avenue to come forward. We're conducting interviews because, as you know, basically the way this administration tried to describe the IRS scandal was that, oh, this was just two rogue agents out in Cincinnati. Well, this is where we're going to have to start, is we're starting in Cincinnati first.
Well, and not just that, but Lois Lerner clearly lied, according to her testimony in front of a congressional oversight committee. It's the lies that are really offensive. It's almost as though the American people are being laughed at, and I don't think they're going to take too kindly to that. But let's talk about Edward Snowden, who leaked the information about the NSA. Is he a traitor, Congressman?
Yeah, I believe this is going to be the largest leak in American history. I've actually seen just a piece of what we know that he had in his hands. We've only seen a small bit of what's out there now in the press. So I assume there's going to be more stories coming.
I'm sorry. What do you mean a piece of what he had in his hands? What are you talking about?
So the Intelligence Committee has now been briefed on at least what we know for sure that he had access to. And that information is damaging to national security interests.
All right.
And I can just tell you, look, this is very frustrating, as I said before, because no one trusts the government. So why are they going to trust the agencies, the NSA and CIA, et cetera, et cetera? I get that. But the bottom line is Congress was read into this program. I have 3 daughters sitting at home right now. Look, I understand there's a difference between liberty and protection. And we're trying to balance that here. So Congress can turn these programs off. But I can tell you, as someone who has access to the programs, who's been briefed over and over again, I believe these are very important to our nation's security.
Well, Congressman, and no one would disagree. I mean, we all want to be protected. We saw what happened. I was in New York City on 9/11. But what about the idea that, you know, saying that, by the way, they've got these algorithms with all your phone calls? I mean, you really think that is a problem for us in terms of security, or is it what's yet to come from Snowden that's going to be the problem?
Well, you're kind of talking about two different issues there. So the whole issue that this program exists, okay, that's a debate that we can have in the Congress. We could turn the program off. The issue that what I believe Snowden has, at least just the minimum amount that I know, is very damaging to the United States national security. This is the largest leak in American history, assuming that the rest of this information comes out, and it could be much worse. I mean, look, just the whole fact that this guy fled to Hong Kong,
right.
I can think of a lot of places to go other than Hong Kong. We know, you worry about the United States spying. You ought to worry about China, Iran, Russia, other bad actors around the globe. So this digital age and data age is moving so quickly that we really have a responsibility to stay ahead of it.
Well, Congressman Nunes, I mean, we will continue to watch this and see what unfolds and what is yet to come. Thanks so much for being with us this evening, Congressman Nunes. And